Boom, boom. Check over here. And that's all that stuff requires, is just to check. And then mic check 1, 2. Where's GP? GP is live. That's all that stuff requires. Yeah, now we have sound. Mic check 1. All right, now we have sound, man. Now we have sound. What's up, man? What's up, Lisa? Hope you guys are doing well. Seeing if I had that monitor over there. And when I'm at this board, I could see it. That makes sense. All right, guys, what's going on? Yes. Hey, guys, Gerald Peters. Welcome back to the channel. Always remember, whatever you think about comes about. Whatever you focus on grows. Just dropped a video there. Talk a little bit about Chapter 8 and Chapter 4 of The Science of Getting Rich. It's so important because without philosophy, none of this fucking matters, okay? If you can get rattled easy, if you don't have faith, if you don't have a strategy or a blueprint or a process, you're wasting your time with the stock market, man. You really are. And this, you're going to see, we talk about it a lot, but time times amount times yield. And talk with so many people. I had a gentleman today, we're supposed to talk early, supposed to talk today, but I've got going doing this that, listening to me, following me for 2 years, and, he didn't own Bitcoin. It's like, why? What is the worst that can happen? It goes to zero. Well, fuck, you got zero now. You're just going to be back where you started, man. And you might say, well, I'd lose my money. Well, fuck, you're losing money now. Everybody loses money, man. Everything you buy, eat, spend on, it all goes to zero, okay? So what we're talking about here is homework. Now, if you're on my Telegram group, if you're not too damn old, I get a lot of people, all you guys 35 and over, oh, I can't work more than one app. They can't work more than one app, man. So I like that Telegram app, though. It's pretty cool. You get to put a lot of shit. It's an ongoing story. But on there, I was dropping homework. And this is so important, and it'll keep you focused and rooted, and it'll do a lot of things that people don't realize. And you don't have to do it exactly like I do, but if you do something similar, now, a lot of people, they'll be, I use it's in my computer, I write. There is something magical about seeing it, touching it, writing it, thinking about it, and doing it. And if you do that over and over and over, repetition is the mother of skill. So I want to give you an example of one of the ways that I use when I do homework. Press the like button, follow along, all that good stuff. And I'm going to show you an example. Now, when I do homework, it's not every stop. It's just as I go through my portfolio and I flip through the charts, and hopefully you're at that level where you've created whatever charting software you're using. I like stock charts, man. I know some of you guys like TradeView with that depressing ass, black ass screen. It's fucking depressing. I look at charts all day long. I don't want to look at a black screen all day long. It's scientifically proving that it fucking depresses you. So that's why I like white, because it feels clean. It's bright. Okay, it's not a dark hole that we're looking into, and that's so that's why I do it. Okay, I like it, and then also I can travel with it. It's easy. You can do that with TradeView too a little bit. All the indicators that I like are on stock charts, and I can create folders. So I just click View All. I start flipping through, and as I run through what I'm looking for, and I kind of you can see stage 3s. All these are stocks that I could trim if I wanted to. I don't need to. but I could. That's why I like to list them. You'll see that's the 1.5 Facebook. You got some of those down here. And then you'll notice that I wrote some of these down here. NVDL, MSFU, GGLL, AAPP, CONL, FBL, AZMZU. Well, I've been doing this ever since they come out. If you notice, a lot of times on my homework. Well, why? I'm trying to memorize them, okay? I need to memorize them. I don't want to be the guy going, hey, what's that ticker for? Don't be that fucking person. Learn this shit. Memorize it, okay? Every so often I'll do what? You see where it says undervalued. These are stocks in my portfolio right now. They're trading below value, okay? What we call true value. And then if you notice here, there's some that say fair to overvalue, okay? We're going to get into that. Now, one of the things that I showed was, if you're on Telegram, I was talking about dividends. I like to list, what dividends am I getting this week? So this week I'm getting $539 in dividends. Now my yearly's right here, okay? That number floats, especially if you're in these option income funds or different funds that floats up and down, okay? I'll just say, does it look okay?
That's what I was just going to check.
Why does this sound static? Anybody else have sound problems? Hey, Michael's on here. Who else on here? No, Greg, Lisa. Who's on here? Vic. Do your fucking homework! Stop making fucking excuses. The sound is staticky, huh?
Are you on your private channel, though?
No, I'm not on the private channel.
Okay, because it didn't even pop on mine.
Don't really start to press buttons?
No, on mine. On my phone. It didn't even pop that you were live.
I'm on YouTube.
Oh, well, that would explain it. Never mind.
Don't know why the sound is staticky, though.
You want to put your earbuds in?
Yeah, I'm gonna put earbuds in, guys, see if this helps. If it doesn't help, I'm gonna break that. Live on YouTube. I'm gonna just start smashing shit. We'll see if this helps.
Jared said he heard the static.
Somebody just said way better.
Haley San.
This is much better. Still sounds staticky to me.
Loud and clearer than before. Way better.
They said way better. All right, man, we're gonna go with it. All right, way better. We're going with it. There's enough talk about sound. If it doesn't work, fuck it. So when we start talking about, I'm gonna kill that text in a second. When we're talking about, that's good. When we're I don't think it's gonna get any better than that. So back to what we're talking about on the homework. I'm gonna try to show you the right way to do it. The goal of this is not to do it as fast as you fucking can. And the goal is not to run filters. And the goal is not to be fucking lazy. The goal is to actually give a shit and grow your wealth. So if you have time to go to the restroom and you don't have time to do this, what in the fuck, man? You have to fix your life. What this is gonna do, the purpose of being an MFG is not to be an average. It's not to be average. It's not to be like everyone else. Life is not supposed to fucking overwhelm you. You're supposed to overwhelm it. You're supposed to be in charge of it. You can either do time. When I worked at the prison, you had a choice. You could do time or time could do you. Either one is an option. And the same in the stock market, man. And it doesn't, you got to get on top of it, okay? And you got to pay attention and start changing the way that you see the world when you go out and about, man. You got to start looking for ticker symbols, which means you got to pull your head out. You got to step outside of yourself and look around, okay? You're not there for yourself. You're there to look and to hunt. How easy are the transactions? What are people doing on their phone? Who's sitting over there? What purse does that lady have? So get out of your own head, okay? And begin to see other things. You get what I'm saying? Get out of your own head and begin to observe. And if you watch, most people are self-consumed and selfish. That is most people you're going to run into. They're not observing anything. They're having these little conversations in their head about what my mom said and what my dad did and my girlfriend this, and it's just blah, 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 all this nonsense in their head, and they're not looking for opportunity. And it's all around you, man. Opportunities all around you. Let's talk about how I would do Starbucks. So Starbucks is a dividend this week, okay? It's a dividend. If you go look, Starbucks is also what? It's also a stage one, man. Right? All right, we can put it there. So we're getting a dividend, and it's a stage one. Well, if we go look on Morningstar, if we go look up on Morningstar, if we have a subscription to it, it's not that much. It's a lot cheaper than going to college and getting a degree in finance, that I know. And we can take, and guess what? It's also technically trading below the 200-day moving average. What does that mean? It sets up for a B&B trade. So one stock, Starbucks, giving us a dividend. It's also stage one, and it's technically trading below the 200-day moving average, which is part of Playbook Inside Money Flow called the B&B trade. What else is it? It's also fair value, according to Morningstar, meaning it is what it's worth. This is about what it's worth. If you were to write a check for the entire company, this is what it's worth. But guess what? All of my adult life that I've been trading Starbucks, Starbucks has traded at a premium. So by studying the history of the stock, we know that Starbucks doesn't often trade at a discount. So if it did, we would want to notice that, right? But what does AT&T and Verizon have traded at a discount my entire adult fucking life? So if they're trading at a discount, that don't mean anything. They're always at a discount. What it does is, but so in this situation, a T or a Verizon, if it gets down to like 50% discount, that means something. But the closer it gets to fair value, the less and less it means. So AT&T being undervalued by 10%, that's AT&T almost trading at a premium because it rarely gets there. Well, how would you know that? Well, that's called time in the market and experience. That's where experience actually comes involved. And I don't know if you know this, but experience, the only way to get experience is to be in the game. So when you take your eyes off, fuck, man, you just lost experience. And so you got to stay in it. It don't matter if you feel like it. Don't matter what's going. You have to stay in it. And all, because through that process of staying in it, then you're going to go, look, well, what about a Johnson & Johnson? Or right now, Blackstone's trading at fair value. Does it normally trade fair value? Well, the only way you're going to know that is if you've been doing this. Does that make sense? And so if you notice, well, fuck, most of the time BX is trading over value. And now it's fair value. Well, fair value could be an opportunity. McDonald's trading fair value. That's not always trades over value, as does Home Depot. Right? And so as does a lot of stocks. And so as you begin to go through this process, you're going to get little bits and pieces of information that a new person can't know because they don't have any time in the saddle. They haven't done their homework, okay? You know, and you can't read this in a fucking book. You cannot get good at trading from a book. You cannot get good at the stock market from reading it. Okay, you're going to have to also experience it. Now, reading it will help, but it's living and noticing and reacting and looking at the stock market that's going to get you through it. And if you notice, I have trade ideas. Well, as I start going through my homework, I'm going to bump into things and go, oh, that would be a good trade idea. A lot of these ideas come when I start looking at the 11 sectors of the S&P. There's 11 of them, right? The XLF, XLI, right? And as you go through, well, as you're going through those, you could have your phone up. I don't know where my other phone is. Well, I'll put it on the charger. So a lot of times I'll have this music playing and my phone. So as I do this with Starbucks, and I say, oh, B&B, I look it up and I go, oh, it's fair value, okay? And then I might read the little snippet that they said over at M1. I'll read it. And things are normal, things are normal. So I move on. UAN is a fertilizer stock. Well, it's a different kind of stock. And if you notice, Morningstar doesn't cover it, but they have an algorithm that tracks stocks that they don't cover. And basically that algorithm just does basic financing to give you a basic price. It's just a basic mathematical formula where they check their earnings, revenue, shit, all that bullshit, and they give you what they think would probably be the book value without doing research. That's a AI and shit. Well, all right, so that is currently under by 17%. It's also been a B&B trade, right? But Friday, it basically tagged the 200. It was just a little bit under, okay? And if you're, Exxon was one. Exxon is trading undervalued. Do I have it on here? See, I don't have it on here. Probably because it.
I was going to say that wasn't on the list.
Yeah, undervalued, and that was a B&B trade, and it hit it. And so I had it as a swing trade and am buying hold. So because of that, I sold half my share. So in this account, I was trading Exxon, actually on margin, by the way. I would only buy the safest of stocks that way, right? Inside the money flow pattern, but in B&B, and it was undervalued, okay? And it also what? It's set up on a what? Stage 1. But now what is it? It's a breakout, right? So Exxon is actually, but it's not even a buyable breakout. So when I show breakouts up here, it means they're still buyable. We have Delta there, we have SoFi, we have CARP, okay? So what is the value of CARP? Well, according to Morningstar, Deanne may know, she does a lot of research for me, you remember the value of CARP? No, you know why she doesn't remember? She doesn't do this 50 fucking times a year. You get what I'm saying? It's $33.
I was going to say that, but I figured I was wrong. I did multiple
Yeah, it's
ones last night.
$33. So
I don't know where my notes are.
right. And what about SoFi?
I don't remember what SoFi was either.
Right.
Yeah, my notes.
I know all of them. We can go down the list.
What I do know is that there was one of the three that I got to that I didn't like.
Right. Because you're doing research. So, so if I know, there's a little disagreement in SoFi. Do you remember their annual earnings?
Yeah.
Was it at 470 something million? Do you remember how many customers?
I don't. I need my notes. I don't know where my notes are.
Right. But I'm saying,
You took my notes and I don't know where my notes are.
you don't need notes. I'm trying to prove a point. I don't want the answer. I know the answer.
Right.
I'm trying to prove a point.
Okay, well,
Yeah. You get what I'm saying? But I want to know, so she doesn't need to remember that. She was just getting information from me, but I need to remember it. That's the difference.
Right.
And so I'm trying to remember. Because how can I make a decision on SoFi if I can't fucking remember the value of SoFi? You get what I'm saying? So
I remember I liked SoFi.
yeah, she liked it. It's a growth company. It could be a potential takeout target. It's double this thing. It primarily targets what kind of people? Poor people? You remember? What's its target audience?
Online banking.
But who are they
people
targeting?
that are wanting to, well,
Upper,
they're,
it's upper wealthy, upper middle class people, so they're targeting.
they're targeting people that are wanting to gain more on their investment accounts versus
Right.
right.
Refinance. They want to be an all-encompass bank. They want to do investing. They want to do refinance your loan. They want you to come to
rate that's acceptable.
refinance your car. So any customer of SoFi's could turn into 3, 4, 5 different loans. Each customer and a potential customer who becomes a brokerage client, and all of that could be packaged and sold to another company. But to do all that, you'd have to spend more than 10 fucking minutes researching it and studying it. Does that make sense, man? I doubt anybody has, man. I really do, man.
In my defense, I was researching and studying several.
What's that?
I said, in my defense, I was researching several last night.
Yeah, but I know, but I'm not expecting you to know it. These guys, they pay money. You guys are supposed to be fucking stock traders. So you're supposed to be held to a higher fucking standard. And so if I text and I ask you about SoFi, you should have a fucking answer. You should know about these stocks. And, if you don't, then I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck to say. That's what this homework is about. So when you guys go, I don't have time. Okay, be fucking stupid and poor. That's your option. Because everyone out here, you're going to go see in the world, they're not doing this. They don't know about Uber. You know, they don't know about Bitcoin. They don't know about SoFi. They could give a fuck, man. And then they're going to wonder why they're poor. It's because they have put no effort, no study. They have not held thought in form of substance. They have no time for that. They only have time to weep and cry and complain and spend money and fuck it off and cry and bitch. They got lots of time for that shit. But very little time for forward thinking, positive thinking, building it out. So this should be prominent in your life, and you can do it over days and days. I'm constantly doing this, okay? This is always front and center of what I do. So cart. I've been doing a lot of research on cart. You know, and I ask people all the time, you use Instacart? Huh? I mean, I ask strangers, you ever use Instacart? You know? And I ask people of all different social walks of life. Why? Could be my new Uber. See what I'm saying? I'm trying to find the next Uber. Fuck Uber. It's over, man. That's done. You know, Lyft is taking off. Fuck it, that's done. You know. And a lot of people spend a lot of time with me. 2 years now, me saying Uber, Lyft, Bitcoin, Uber, Lyft, Bitcoin. You know, those are going. So now I got to find the new Uber, Lyft, Bitcoin. Does that make sense? So I'm always trying to find that new thing that can run out, make me a bunch of money so that I can allocate that money to grow out my portfolio, increase my dividends. So you need to know, going into this week, how much dividends are you going to get from what companies? And as you get it from the companies, then go read up on that company, and that gives you a chance of what is ET? ET is an MLP. Well, what's an MLP? That's the point of homework. Well, did you know that MLPs are taxed different? So you may or may not want to have it in a brokerage account. You may or may not want to have it in a SEP IRA and an IRA. Now, you might say that's hard, it's confusing. Yeah, no shit. That's why people don't do it. If it's fucking easy, no one does it. This stuff is hard, man. It's hard to do it, hard to stay consistent. It's hard. It's hard. But if you switch it and make it easy, because it is an importance in your life, it's the first fucking thing. You know, when you do that, this gets easier and easier. And you know what an MLP is. You know what an MLP, Master Limited Partnership. How are those taxed? Honestly, if I asked you right now, how's that taxed? Do you know? Now you might say, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure. Well, here, watch. Let's see. Put it in Google. Go to Google. Put it in. And say, how are MLP taxed? It says partnership for federal income tax purposes. MLPs generally do not pay federal tax. Instead, limited partnerships report on their tax returns their share of the MLP's income, gains and losses and deductions, and are taxed at their individual tax rate. Kind of like they send you like a K1, and they pass that. So you can go and read on the structure of an MLP. Some stocks are MLPs, and you need to know you're going to get a tax form that goes on your tax return if that stock is not in a tax sheltered account, right? And that will sometimes freak people out that there's a piece of fucking paper that they're going to get that they would have to put on their tax return, and so they will avoid stocks like this because of that. All right, and some people don't even know that's a natural thing. And we could go to closed-end funds, right? Those are different. All these ETNs, ETFs, right? Stocks. These stocks here. This NVDL, these 1.5. These are not stocks. These are not stocks. Say again. These are not stocks. These are electronically traded notes. Some of them have been classified as ETFs, but they're not stocks. Okay. These option income funds that we're doing, these are not stocks. They're not fucking stocks. They're not going to go up and down like a stock. They trade different. And so you're going to have to learn that. If it confuses you, then dig into it and understand. I tried to explain to a guy yesterday that if a $1 dividend comes out of your stock on X dividend day, that's the day that you need to own it to qualify to own the dividend. The next day, the price of the stock drops by the dividend. Why? Because the money just came out of the stock. So if your net worth is 100 grand and you give Susie 10 grand, your net worth is now what? 90 grand. The stock adjusts by the dividend. So if we have these stocks that are fucking paying these huge ass dividends, and the dividend that month, like Coney, C-O-N-Y, when it pays its 10% dividend, the next day that fucker's dropping by 10%. So now you're down 10%, but you don't get the dividend until later, right? And then what if the market pulls back or crypto gets hit? This fucker may go down, 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 down by the time you hit it. Okay? They're treated different. The only way you're going to know this is to be in the flow, be in the do, and play this game, okay? So I can't stress enough the value of homework. So and you can do yours how you want to do it. I mean, you just do it some bullshit way where you whip it out in 15 fucking minutes like it means nothing. That's one way. That's how most people do it. But or you could do it like you actually give a shit and you're running a lot of money and you know, like you have a fund and you're responsible. I mean, you are running the fund for your family, okay? This money's about you and your family, man. So it should be highly important. I know a lot of it is. I'm just talking to people that are on the fringes. You're on the fringes and you're not sure you can put the time in. That's fucking crazy, bro. So you notice I always have the dogs of the Dow. Amgen, Cisco, Chevron, Dow, IBM, Johnson Johnson, Cola, 3M, Verizon, WBA. Do you have them memorized? We got January, we're in February. Do you have them memorized? You should have the motherfuckers memorized. That's why I keep them here all the time. They're always front and center. Chapter 10 of my book, this is at the core of my investing, are these stocks right here. These are super important. They're on every board. I look at them every fucking day. Every day I look at these stocks multiple times, and it's on my homework, okay? They are that important all the time. You must understand these stocks, and that's where I put everyone on first. Why? Because that sets up trade ideas, okay? So just the three that paid me a dividend, if you notice, ET, the RSI is like 72. So I'm getting a $350 dividend, but it's a stage 3. So it means I could sell that dividend or take it off, and what can I do? I can move it to Starbucks, but it's trading fair value, but we talked about that, it could go up. We got UAN, but as I begin to build these out, I now know I got about 350 here. You know, I actually going to take this one too, I think, and add to this one. So now I know I've got like almost $500 to play with coming this week. So as that money comes in, I'm going to put it to work. And as I watch these trade ideas, right, these are still viable, so those are trade ideas. You got SoFi, and if you go look at last week's, you know, look on there, what did I have? What was it? The real estate sector. So as I go through looking at the 11 sectors, I also have a folder inside of stock charts I call indexes. And there's everything from Brent crude, the continuous contract. You know what I'm saying there? If you don't, get your head out of your ass and figure it out. Brent crude, Brent oil trades at there's different types of oil, and it trades on the futures market. And there's different months into the futures market, right? So on stock charts, they use what they call a continuous chart. Go look at copper. So if copper's on the stage 1, that could give us some trade ideas. We could trade Freeport-McMoRan, gold right now. So remember, I've been tracking gold. And you start to see how all this stuff starts to piece together. Look at the GLD. Right now is in the number 6 spot. That ain't making me warm and fuzzy. It's at the bottom, man. But that could mean that it's a possibility for a possible trade. Well, what about bonds? Bonds are in number 7 spot. That's because they're the lowest. So if we go look, these two are stage 1s right now. This one bonds may not make it next week. It may fall into a stage 4 climb. Right? So we need to think about that. And what would that be? UGL, TMF, right? But also we could go into the miners, the nugget. And remember, as gold got into it stage 1, instead of buying gold, what did I do? Open swing trade, AGQ. AGQ is silver. So you see how all this starts to play together. My highest conviction list. I didn't say I'll buy more of it. I just said highest conviction. Haynes Brands, WBD. You know, I think those stocks are ridiculously undervalued. I don't know if they're going to get a bid right now, but I think they have a huge possibility to double this year. And what was on that list? Lyft, CLSK. I don't talk a lot about penny stocks because the government kind of cracked down on influencers doing that. But from time to time, I mention some that I like. You know? Just throw them up. Money flow rules apply. Again, I don't put every stock on here, guys. I'm putting the ones that right now, you know, have a place. Some are like in the middle. They got a 54 RSI. It's not doing anything. You know, maybe it's fair value. It's not breaking out. I don't need to put it on here. Okay? So I can't play every stock next week. So trade ideas up here was retail sales or retail stores and shit. But one of them was real estate. Let me pull this up real quick. And then I have a folder that once I do a trade, it goes into that folder, and you can see on here where I'm marking it up, man. And I could say, hey, I'll share my list with you. You could just be fucking lazy, and I could do it all for you and send it to you, and you could just sit on your ass and do nothing. But I'd rather you do it, man. So everything I do, you can do. So look here, I can just send you this list, and then as I do trades and update them, they would just appear in your little thing, or you could do it and learn it, man. That's what we want. We want to learn it, right? Like, here's the Apple trade. It's been terrible. I haven't closed it yet. It's right there at that zone. But, you know, I may be about to close it here soon, but I'm pretty sure it's going to turn around. You remember AGNC? If we go look, stage one, they're starting to break out. What was a play on that? I mentioned the trade idea was REM. I got into it on Friday. That's made of the top 20 mortgage REITs. Yeah. Big fat dividend. I bought that on margin, by the way. BITX. Stage 3, that was Bitcoin, right? So I started trimming. That was a trade for me, okay? Don't be the guy, this is a trade. Oh, wait, maybe now it's not a trade. Now it went up a lot, so I'm going to hold it. It's not a trade. All that means is you're a shitty trader and you don't know what you're doing. If you're trading, fucking trade. If you're buying and hold, do that. If you're positioning, do that. Become super consistent. If I take this down and it goes up, I don't give a shit. You're never going to hear me say, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that, because that's not the money flow, man. My goal is to trade the money flow. My goal is to do my homework. My goal is to learn all these different things. So I want to learn about these 1.5 funds coming out. That means you need to study. Okay? You need to study. It takes about 2 or 3 years to get really proficient at the stock market. And that's if, assuming that you consistently apply and you actually want to do it. You can't just do this like that. And it's not about attitude, it's about staying in the game consistently, staying in the saddle and doing it, and staying on it, man. It's going to improve you as a person too, because your understanding of business is going to be incredible. I know a lot of you guys think you're good businessmen. Well, if you're a good fucking businessman, why can't you pick stocks better? Because all business is business. It's all the same. It's just how do they report, what is their product, how do they exchange. So if you're good at business, you should be good at picking stocks. If you're good at real estate, you should be good at picking stocks. You just have to put your mind on it, man. It'll make you a better businessman, too, I believe. You know, I like to rank on the win, but I think we covered what I wanted to talk about there, about the concept of, you see how Starbucks went from a dividend this week. It moved over to the B&B section. It fell down into the fair value, but we know and we looked at it can run at a premium. It has a lot, okay? Because it's a what? It's a growth dividend stock. And growth dividend stocks implies that they're growing. Make sense? So those kind of stocks can run at a premium, you know, to their fair value. But an established company like an IBM, or, I mean, even like McDonald's is still innovating and growing. It's crazy, man, how they continue. It's one of the great American companies of all time. What else we got? IWM, we caught that, the URTY, because it was lagging these. I'm always looking for laggards. I'm always trying to keep track of where the PE is on the S&P 500. I don't want that PE to get too high. If PE gets too high, you know, we've probably got a problem. Now, a lot of people are using the lizard brain. Oh, the RSI is 70, we're going to correct. That is not what it means, man. Stop doing that. Stop saying that. It aggravates the shit out of me. It's not what the RSI is for. The RSI is to let you know that it's in territory where it's not normal. It doesn't typically move this much, and it's only tracking the last 14 days. So that doesn't mean that it has to stop or turn around. It's just tracking the average volatility of the price movement of the last 14 days. That's all it means. Doesn't mean there has to be a correction. You can hit the RSI, pull back. Matter of fact, that's one of the playbooks in the money flow. And if I'm day trading, it pulls back to the 50, drops under it for just a second, turns back up. Well, there you go. It worked off. So the RSI can be worked off through time, or it can be worked off through an actual market correction. Time is typically how they get worked off. And if you go look at the S&P, what we recently had, it ran up, and then it kind of came down, then it ran up, kind of came down, it's right up. And each of these is the RSI being exchanged without ever putting in a correction. So you're not going to make your money on corrections because you did some amazing thing. You're going to make your money adding money to stage ones. And then they ride up, and if you do collect, you take them off on threes. That's how you make your money. And over a long period of time, consistently adding to them. And on trading, you're going to make your money capturing the one, taking it off on the three, honoring your stops. Man. You got to know if you're a trader, getting stopped out is part of the game. If that bothers you, fuck off and go do something else. Nobody asked you. Getting stopped out is, when you're a trader, you're going to lose about half your trades. Doesn't matter how smart or cute or whatever it is you think you are. It's not. You're going to lose about half your trades. That's trading. That's how trading works. Buy and hold shouldn't be any of that. Buy and hold's easy. So think on this, man. Develop trade ideas, And trade ideas are more than charts. If you're just looking for chart patterns and saying this is a trade idea, don't share them with me, man. I don't want that. Because if you have a trade idea, first thing I'm going to say to you is, what do you think it's worth? And if you don't know the value of it, then that's not a trade idea. You can't flip shoes on eBay if you don't know what shoes go for on eBay. So if you have a trade idea, why do you think it'll go higher? So dig a little deeper into that. And I talked about before the 11 sectors and then all the different indexes. I go through all the indexes like cloud computing index, the shipping bulk index, the driller index. There's all these indexes for all these different subcategories. I think there's like 250 something of them. And then once I find a trade idea, I then say, okay, I got a trade idea. Inside of that idea, is there something I could do for buy and hold? Cool. Is there something I could do to trade? Right? Cool. So I want to take that one idea and add multiple things to it. And what that's going to cause you to do is expand your thinking and to see this shit is bigger and to see the layers. Remember, the money flow is fractal. Okay? It's in an ongoing feedback loop driven by recursion. Recursion, go look that word up. In this ongoing feedback loop. So on Monday the market won't open, but Tuesday's going to open whether you feel good or don't feel good, whether you got in a fight or didn't get in a fight, whether you had a good night's sleep or didn't have a good night's sleep. The only thing that's going to be different is whether you fucking participate. It ain't going to give a shit because you got in your fight with your wife or your boyfriend. It don't give a fuck. It's just going to keep going, man. And the good thing about that is it's there for you and it's there for me. It's there for you. Use that. Use stops. Use charts. Use this to get you through tough times. I always have been. When I would be sad and I'm upset and things are hard, I knew charts would be for me. I'd go and look, and I'd use that as a way to take my mind off of my troubles and my pains. And you get what I'm saying? Use this. You should be addicted. Be obsessed. If you're not, man, go do something else. If you're not, just put your money in an index fund and call it. That's it. That's all you gotta do. But get obsessed with it. Let it help you to change your life, man. It really will. That's it, man. We trimmed lift. So I gotta go through now and do my homework. If you're not on my Telegram group, I know some of you guys are 35 years old and like, I can't do more than one app, Gerald. But if you can, get on there. And follow along. And if you're not too goddamn busy being busy to get rich, get on it, man. Do your homework. I get disappointed, I get mad. Every week when I randomly text people for their homework, they don't do it. Michael, you're on here. You know bullshit, do your homework. Fucking post it. Bullshit. If you have time to watch TV, time to do anything, you've got time to do your homework, man. It's a whole list. Pick on Mike because I saw his name. I'm sure there's 20 others on here. So I'm going to randomly text people again this week. I'm serious. The last 6 weeks I've done it. The people that I randomly text didn't do it.
I know, and then you get cranky.
And I get fucking mad because they're wasting my time.
Do your damn homework so I don't have to hear them bitch.
No, it's just you're wasting my time. It's just jerking me off. What's the point, dude? Why are we friends? Stop fucking wasting my time. You know, it drives me crazy, dude. I hate it. And this is why I don't have friends. Because I'm fucking disappointed in them all the time. That's why I don't have friends. It is. People make me angry. What was this? Oh, it makes me mad, man. Do your homework, man. Grown fucking men, do your homework. And women. And see, I don't yell at women. I go, oh, you had a baby? You didn't have time? And then I don't yell at them. Because they start crying. Did I have a baby?
You're talking to the wrong women, I guess.
But did I have a baby? I was a stay-at-home dad, was I not?
You were.
And I traded, right? And I built a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I also had a job. Like all these things that people have that they're their excuse. I did all that, man.
I was right there with you.
I wrote a book while having a baby in a fucking backpack.
Well, let's not say you didn't have a baby.
You know what I'm saying? I could have had a baby. I could have had 10 fucking babies and day traded and wrote a book and built a business and I could do all that. I'm 10 foot tall and bulletproof. See, now is that true? No, that's what I think. You have to elevate that fucking mindset so that you can do this, man. Because life is not going to let you. People are going to fuck with you. You're not going to have time, man. So you got to steal that time. And the MFG, the purpose of MFG is you guys are supposed to be elite traders. That's what we're doing.
Or learning to become a leader.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But you can't be what you're not. You can't be what you're not. So if you can't see it in your head, you can't be it. It's right there. Go watch that video I just posted, man. I'm the greatest fucking trader in the world. There's nobody better. There's no investor better. Fuck all of them. I believe that. Now, in the meantime, I got to make that shit come true, right? So it's okay to believe something that isn't true. If it's getting you to where you're going, that's not. And if people want to call that arrogant, okay, whatever. You know, walk as if, talk as though. So start thinking that, man. You guys are amazing. MFG is some of the best traders in the world. Fuck all these other groups, man. All these other groups, they suck. They don't know what they're doing. I could name them all. There's all kinds of trading groups on the internet. They're all dumb. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Now, is that true? I don't know, but that's what I think. And so I think that to make myself and us feel better, man. So we're doing big things. So I hope you get into it, stay with it. I'm here to help you, man, and I believe in you. I believe in everyone I talk to. I believe it, that you can do more, be more, and have more, man. You have everything you need. It's going to start with your mind first, though, guys. Do your homework. You don't do it exactly like mine, but do it. And this one's not done. I'm just getting going. We'll finish it by tomorrow.